Welcome to Journey to Strong, a space for women going through transition. The one that's rebuilding your life, your confidence, and your identity one step at a time. Let's get to it. There's a season that no one warns you about. It's not the season of breakdown. It's not the season of breakthrough. It's a season of in between. And the in between is something that is so lonely, so alienating, and so purposeful. And we're going to talk about what that season looks like and how to transition through. So, welcome to the podcast. And I'm so glad that you are here today. And I can't wait to go through this journey with you. Let's jump into what the season of the in between looks like. This is a season where you don't quite feel like you are the person that you were, and you don't quite feel like you're the person that you are supposed to be. You're in this in between time of you don't really know who you are. Maybe you're like me. I went through divorce, went through a season of rebuild that looked like also losing a lot of people in my life, such as friends and business partners and people that I was surrounded by a lot. So that in itself was very alienating. And I felt like I wasn't old Kelsey, and I didn't really identify with her anymore, but I wasn't quite the new me either. And I didn't really know who that was. So I found myself just really stumbling and not knowing where I belonged. And it's a very, very lonely place to be. And if you're in that season right now where you have made the steps to start becoming the person that you want to be, you aren't quite there yet, but you aren't where you were, you find yourself having moments of really good moments of clarity of like, wow, I'm so glad that I did this. And then literally 5 minutes later, you can be, oh my gosh, I'm so alone. No one knows what I'm going through. No one understands me. Did I make the right choice? And then, of course, saying and taking that reset pause of, yes, I'm where I need to be. I made the right choice, realigning. But it's a constant battle of just really trying to learn who you are and identify where you're trying to be. The hard part also is putting in the work, but not quite seeing the outcome that you want or hope, or maybe that you feel like should be happening. You know, something that I really worked on a lot during my healing phase was journaling. And I love to journal because some days I love to just go back in my journal. I started really heavily journaling 3 years ago when I really started this transition. So I'll go back, and these are days where I really need to find some gratitude and be gracious to myself of where I've come and how far I've come. So I'll go back and read some of my entries or prayers or whatever it might be in my journal from a while ago. And it's a really great moment to look back and say, wow, to be able to identify where I was and my mindset and how far I've come and how quickly I'm able to get out of that negative space that I would allow myself to be in for so long, and how quickly I can identify I am going on the hamster wheel. Let's get off and realign. Used to, the hamster wheel process could last days, and now I'm able to identify quickly in minutes going down that negative mindset path and getting on the wheel and starting to get momentum. I'm like, hold on, let's pause. So journaling is a way for me physically to be able to look back and see that. So you really have to find what works for you, and whether that's journaling or talking. I think there's a way that everyone likes to get their mind out of that negative space. And like I said, journaling is just something that really works for me. And I love to be able to look back and see how far I've come and where I've gone. Now let's talk about the shift that can happen. That growth is happening even when you can't see it. Going back to taking that one step one day can lead to 10 steps throughout a couple of days. And you might not always see the growth happening, but it is happening behind the scenes. And one step leads to the next step and the next step and the next step. And then looking back, you've come a mile. And so really trusting the process of taking one step and trusting yourself and enjoying those moments, and also having gratitude from where you have been, finding the peace in the clarity that comes, but also trusting even if the clarity isn't coming. Something that I've really had to take a step back and realize is discomfort doesn't always equal not being aligned. Some of the best times and some of the times that I've learned the most about myself have been when I'm uncomfortable, have been when I'm putting myself out there. And the in between is really something that is an uncomfortable place to be, for sure. Being in the in between where you weren't who you were and you aren't quite who you want to be is uncomfortable. But that's the most beautiful part about it, because in the uncomfort, you learn to trust, you learn to find the confidence in yourself and yourself alone, because you can't lean on the other identities that you had, and you can't lean on getting the validation from other people. You have to truly find that within yourself. In that in between time, you're really forced to do that. So it's a very beautiful time, but it's very uncomfortable, because odds of you feeling alienated and alone that's probably what you're living right now. And sometimes you feel so unseen that you go in a friend group and people that you used to surround yourself with, and you don't feel like you fit there anymore. And it's not a bad thing. I think it's beautiful, because you're learning how to show up differently and more aligned with the person that you want to be. And sometimes it looks like not being in those spaces anymore. Sometimes it means letting things go that don't align with who you are. It's a beautiful space to be, but know that if you're in that space of the in between, you're not alone. And this space, this podcast is a space for you to feel heard and seen and validated where you are now, whether it's in the in between, in that transitional time, and to know that you're not doing it wrong. And if you're doing what you're called to do and you're taking that step, you are going towards the space that you are wanting to be in. You are in the process of becoming the person that you want to be. And it's so beautiful. And something that I've really tried to learn in this time is to find beauty in the process. And again, it's so hard because it's so uncomfortable at times. And you don't even know sometimes who you are. It's just a beautiful place to be. So if you are there right now, know that you're not alone. Know that this isn't the part of the story that people usually celebrate, but I'm here cheering you on, celebrating you in the process that you are in and the steps that you're taking. You are where you are supposed to be. You are becoming. You are strong. And I'm so excited for you and the journey, because I've been there and I'm living it currently. And every day, the clarity that comes from just the one step. I'm so excited for you because I know that if you are taking that one step towards the person that you want to be, it can be uncomfortable, it can be challenging, it can be alienating and lonely, but you are doing it and you are going to be a stronger, better person because of that. I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad that you are here. And I hope that you feel seen and heard, that you know that you're not alone, and that you have people in your corner that are going through the same thing that's cheering you on, and people that can identify with the process that you're going through and the transitions that you're living in right now. So if that's you, I hope to see you here again for our next journey.